Title: 313 versus 1000. The battle that changed history. Imagine standing in the middle of a desert. You are tired, hungry, and poorly equipped. You have only 313 men with you. In front of you stands an army of nearly 1,000 warriors, armed with better weapons, more horses, and far greater resources. Most people would say the outcome is obvious, but what happened next became one of the most remarkable events in history. This is the story of the Battle of Badr. The year was 624 CE. The Muslims had migrated from Mecca to Medina after facing years of persecution. Many had lost their homes, wealth, and possessions. Despite these hardships, they continued to practice their faith and build a new community. At the same time, the leaders of Quraysh in Mecca were determined to stop the growth of Islam. Tensions between the two sides continued to rise. One day, news reached the Muslims that a large trade caravan belonging to Quraysh was returning from Syria. The Muslims planned to intercept the caravan. However, events quickly took an unexpected turn. The caravan escaped. Instead, Quraysh gathered a powerful army of around 1,000 soldiers and marched toward Medina. The Muslims suddenly faced a challenge far greater than they had expected. The Prophet Muhammad consulted his companions. The situation was serious. The Muslim force was small. They had only a few horses and limited equipment. Yet the companions showed extraordinary courage. They pledged their support and prepared for what lay ahead. The Muslims marched toward a place called Badr. It was a small area with several wells, located southwest of Medina. When they arrived, they strategically positioned themselves near the water sources. This decision would later prove important. As both armies prepared for battle, the difference in numbers became clear. Around 313 Muslims, nearly 1,000 warriors from Quraysh. The odds seemed impossible. The night before the battle, many Muslims prayed for strength and guidance. According to Islamic tradition, they placed their trust in Allah and remained determined despite the danger. The next morning, the battlefield came alive. The desert sun rose over two armies preparing for conflict. The battle began with traditional duels between selected warriors from each side. These early encounters boosted the morale of the Muslims. Soon the full battle started. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the Muslims fought with discipline and determination. Every warrior understood the importance of the moment. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the future of their community. As the battle intensified, confusion spread through the ranks of Quraysh. The Muslims continued advancing. Their confidence grew with every passing moment. Many experienced warriors of Quraysh were defeated. The balance of the battle slowly began to change. What had seemed impossible started becoming reality. By the end of the day, the army of Quraysh was forced to retreat. The Muslims had achieved a stunning victory. The outcome shocked Arabia. How could a force of only 3 in 13 defeat an army nearly 3 times its size? News of the victory spread quickly across the region. The Battle of Badr became a turning point in Islamic history. It strengthened the position of the Muslim community in Medina. It demonstrated the power of determination, leadership, unity, and faith. For the Muslims, Badr became a symbol of courage against overwhelming odds. Even centuries later, people continue to remember the battle and the lessons it teaches. The story of Badr reminds us that numbers alone do not determine success. History is filled with moments when small groups achieved extraordinary things through courage, strategy, perseverance, and belief in their mission. From just 313 people standing against a force of nearly 1,000 warriors came one of the most famous victories in history. And that is why the Battle of Badr remains one of the most inspiring stories ever told. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more fascinating historical stories from around the world.